I apologize for that, but everyone, welcome, and I hope everyone's doing well. I have a interesting evening planned for you. We're going to talk about fountain pen collecting and where that takes you, and some of the issues I wrestle with, even as someone who has a public, semi-public face and gets to sort of share pens with you. I think there's still some issues that come up, and they're interesting. So we're going to discuss some of that. Also, journaling. Journaling comes up. It's good to have a nice discussion on that too. And a bit on a critical comment I got today, which I thought was interesting and I thought I might share with you. And I thought it would be fun to do an unboxing, because I got a box. And it's super fun when you get a box to unbox it. So we'll do that as well. Start off by showing one of my favorite items. You guys are very familiar with this. The Egyptomania, if you will. Inkwell, it's about 100 years old. Well, in filming recently, been filming a lot of different videos for you guys. You'll see, look how great these two go together. Isn't that just brilliant? Especially when the light hit them. Look at that. It's so great. And you know how you sort of rediscover a pen? So my Brass Kaweco Sport has been sleeping lately, because this is sort of my adventure pen. It's the one I travel with. It's the one that I like to take when I go, to a beach, or if I'm taking a walk in the woods and I want to do a little journaling, stuff like that. It's my robust, indestructible pen. And I do a little less of that in the winter. So I tend to use it a little less in the winter. I mean, I live up here in Massachusetts. It used to be cold. It's not so cold anymore, but it's still kind of wet and dreary instead of snowy and cold. So there's just fewer opportunities to go out in the woods as there once were. So usually it's spring, I sort of get excited again. But in filming with this, I started using it in earnest again. And what's brilliant about this has their calligraphy nib. So it's their 1.1 stub, which is super fun nib. So let's see if we can. This is difficult with you guys, but it's so difficult writing backwards. But it's just such a great, smooth nib with a beautiful downward line. I know that looks kind of bad, but just give you an idea. So just, super fun. I have in it right now the Jerbon Eclat de Saphir, Eclat, however one pronounces it. I should learn, as much as I use it, how to pronounce it. But incredibly balanced pen, so it's a lot of fun. Anyway, brilliant pen, guys. Can't give this enough love, but I only have one hand. And I think pens are a bit like watches in that respect. Although I find myself being a little bit more open toward using many pens than watches. My watches have sort of fallen into this pattern of wearing my Rolex during the day, and I come home at night and I put my Cartier on. And sometimes I reverse that. But pens are a little bit more like I get on sort of, I just get on a roll with a pen, and I trying to really savor that and really get to know a pen and do a deep dive. So that is very gratifying for me. So I'm trying not to read the comments too much, because you guys have better conversation in the comments than even what's going on here. So a lot of really good stuff going on in the channel. I just got Jim Kerrigan's letter. Thank you very much. Jim has excellent handwriting. Lovely guy, very expressive guy. So glad I know him. Sent a letter, part of the letter exchange that Illuminati and Cognoscenti members are doing. And it's really great to get to know each of you and to trade letters back and forth. And then we're all going to do a pen pal circle as well. So just got his letter, and it's okay to say these names. I wouldn't say your normal names if you didn't go by that on YouTube. So, John Manuel's arrived today. I'm really excited about that too. I see you're here tonight, John. So that's brilliant. So very, very great to have it. So super, super excited for that. So, John, hopefully you're not having trouble with your audio there. So, everyone, I thought it might be good to start with a fun unboxing, especially on a night where I'm going to make some comments that are somewhat critical of materialism. So, I'm going to unbox a pen because I'm full of contradictions. So, this is the Benchmade Bailout, which is one of my favorite pocket knives. So there are times, I think, I'm just cutting right through the cardboard. I don't know if you can hear that, but forget cutting the tape. I just went right through the cardboard. So there are times when a pen comes up and you have to have it. It doesn't often happen, and it's really, I'm going through the cardboard again. Okay. So it's free now. So it's really a relief when a pen that you must have isn't $1,000. So I am very happy about that. But sometimes they are. One pen I don't regret is the Egyptomania. Absolutely brilliant. Got that for Christmas, though. So this came from Fahey Pens, by the way. I think that's how you pronounce it. Fahey Pens. Get the box out of the way. This is a noisy live. Sorry, guys. So I bought this pen because I had to have it. I'm on a bit of a Visconti roll right now. I've been very pleased with the Visconti Homo sapien Bronze Age. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk at length about it. And it's going to be featured in some upcoming videos. So here we have another Visconti. Nice, lovely box. They have a nice presentation, right? Any guesses? Any guesses, guys, what this is? By the way, Ichiro, I like your new rule there. His rule is if a pen leaks 4 times, he tosses it. So he just tossed one that leaked 4 times. Doesn't this look like stationery? Like a really nice stationery set? Am I prolonging this, or do you guys already know what this is? So let's have a look. Oh, look at this. Boy, the presentation, right? So there's evidently they wanted it to be very comfortable on its way because it has a little sleeping bag. So little sleeping bag. Kate has 2 Visconti as well. Very good. Okay. Am I prolonging this enough? Let's do it. So good thing I have my keyboard there. So here we are. You ever see the kid that got the new Apple iPhone and then showed it to the camera and then dropped it? That could have just happened if I didn't have a ledge there. So here we have the Mythos, the Apollo. Very pretty pen. Magnetic cap. Interesting nib. So the nib is a Schmidt nib on an Italian body. So, and what I really liked about it, and the reason I had to have it, was it has a magnetic post. You guys know I'm not really posting pens, but I guess I'll be posting this one. It's magnetic, which is really neat. So it's got magnets that hold it on there. And the cap as well. It's a bit like the Typewriters, Full Metal Jackets. So very pretty, very new. Had to have it. So this pen goes for around $167. And it kind of brings up a good point. David Pruitt guessed it. Good for you. Case like Hemingway broke his pen. Lucky for me, it only fell like 3 inches because this is my laptop. So this is the camera, the keyboard's like right here. So it wasn't so bad. And it was still attached to the card. So don't worry, it survived. It looks lovely. So it's about $167. And I think what's interesting is value, right? And this is part of what I wanted to talk about tonight. And I want to also kind of show you that when I drive, I don't usually bring my phone to my live, but I will do stuff like this when I drive. So this was dictated. Oh, I can see myself in there. It's kind of neat. This was dictated while I was driving to work today. So I'll say, hey, Siri, take a note. Value proposition is a rationalization. And it sounds like Miles Braun from Glass Onion. Oh. See, Siri's now trying to dictate a note. So I come up with these ideas while I'm driving that are slightly strange, but it's true, right? So this pen's $167, and I felt like I had to have it, but it's technically beyond what I would normally want to spend with a steel nib, if that makes sense. So for me, I try to keep it under 150 for steel nibs. Excuse me, if I can, because the Pilot E95S has an absolutely incredible gold nib, and you can get that sometimes for under $100, but it's listed for like 130 something, 135. So you have to sort of make that determination that this pen has a steel nib, but it has other stuff. So you have this beautiful pen body from Visconti. It has incredible decoration. It looks sort of like Mount Olympus going around here. I mean, it's the first time I laid eyes on it too. And that's sort of also duplicated right here on the grip, which is really interesting and kind of consistent. It sort of has a consistent design language. It's also sort of faceted, the pen, but not in a very sharp way. It's makes it very sleek and interesting. So it's got the Visconti V at the bottom. So a lot of it's cosmetic. The cap goes right through. I mean, it feels very well made and very interesting, but it's certainly entry level for Visconti, right? But the magnets were interesting to me. I really like the magnet posting, and I feel like, okay, well, it's $167. It's not a $700 pen, so maybe you can be a little harder on it. It's still, a lot of money, right? It's a pen, but these things become relative, don't they? So it's like $30 more than what I would normally spend for a steel nib, but is it worth it? I guess we'll tell when it writes. And it's a shame I don't have an ink for it. I would try, unless I want to put, I don't know if it has a converter in now or not, because this is a converter cartridge pen. Okay. Ooh, converter's rough, guys. I'll tell you that much. This is a rough converter. Like, this is a kind of converter I would expect on like a Jinhao. Not too psyched about that. But I'm sure it works. But it's not impressive at all. I might swap this out. And by impressive, like, not that I need to be impressed by it, but I need it to last. So if they're cutting corners on that converter. Here, let me give you a good look at it. Kind of glad we can share this together. See that? It's like basic as basic can be. And it's plasticky. Like, I could squeeze that. I kind of like the glass ones. I mean, it'll work, but even the piston action. And it didn't seem very well set when I first touched it. So, but still, it feels like a nice pen. And I'm excited to ink it up and dig in. Hi, James. How are you? I see all the usual suspects are here. My friend Gino says if it writes with no issues, it's worth it. And I think that's true. I think one of the things we pay for is peace of mind, right? Oh, it's pretty. Wow. Oh, here's something surprising, guys. It's a fine. I never get fine, and I decided to get a fine just to be different because I have so many mediums. I thought I'd go with fine. It doesn't come in too many different incarnations. I think it's a fine, a medium. They might have a broad, but there's like 3 choices. So I'm definitely happy with it. The details look really nice. The tines are nice and open because there's another screen I have down here, and you can see light through it, which is nice, but not a lot where you'd be worried. But you can definitely see some. Do I look weird without my glasses? You guys always see me with my glasses, right? So now you can tell it's not my glasses that make my eyes look really small. It's my eyes. My eyes make my eyes look really small. I think my glasses might make them look a little bigger. So don't blame my glasses. I don't feel as comfortable using my loupe with my glasses on. I'm always like banging my lenses. But I might be going on too long about this, but I'm really excited about this one. It's those rare occasions when you see something or read about something and you're like, I really need to experience that. And for me, pens are about experiences. Money is sort of an impediment to getting to the experience. And it's a shame that things cost what they do and we have to pay the price for entry. But we do. And each price is different. And I think we value things relatively. And that's where my comment came from, that it's really rationalization, that a value proposition is more like a rationalization because you can argue it. You could argue, I'm going to buy a Pilot E95S because it's $130 and it's $30 cheaper than the Visconti Mythos that doesn't have a gold nib. But then 3 months later, you're like, I'm buying that Visconti Mythos because it's really cool. It has a Schmidt nib, it's German, and it's steel, but it has these really cool magnet cap and magnet posting, and it's a very, very pretty pen. And it's Visconti. So you can argue it many different ways. And even things like the difference between a Homo sapien and a Mont Blanc. Like, Mont Blancs are so expensive, but it's the price of entry. Art Mingle says, it's your signature, your eyes, I mean. Yeah, I am. That's one of the things I'm known for. But I don't mind. It's not the worst face. So, can you dip it to see how smooth it writes? Art Mingle asks. Yeah, I could fill it. I'm just trying to think which ink I would put in it if I were. See, this is when I would use my ink library. And I've said this to you guys before that for me, the ink library is not about, this is the swatch and, it's exactly what it looks like. It's more about holding the pen up and seeing how it communicates with that color and to see whether or not it motivates me. Wow, this would actually be really good. What would be a great color for this, guys? Would be like a brown with gold in it that would match the pen, right? I'm thinking like the Carub de Chypre. But then I wouldn't normally put a sheen or shimmer ink in a Visconti. but maybe I would. Maybe I would. So all these great colors to choose from. Which one would I choose? I don't know. I don't know. So maybe the first dip should be in one I use all the time. I actually have some inks I haven't got to yet, like Earl Grey tea that was bought because it has a great name. How do you not buy Earl Grey tea ink? So I could fill it with this. I also have Faust by Wearing Jewel, which I haven't tried yet. That looks cool. It's kind of black. What do you guys think? Or, now this is a sheen ink, so I probably shouldn't. Bloody Brexit by Diamine. I probably wouldn't use this, but maybe Faust. What do you guys think? Or Earl Grey. I'll leave it up to you guys. Faust or Earl Grey? Either one I need to test, so why not test them from a pen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Faust. Art Mingle says Faust. Coffee and Barbells thinks Metamorphosis Kafka would be great in that pen. It would be if I had it, but I don't have it, my friend. That makes it tougher. Earl Grey. So, you know what? I think I'm going to do Earl Grey. Just because it has a really cool name. Now I'm going to try to figure out how to open this. You guys know me. I'm probably going to cut right through it. I'm going to cut right through it. Okay, then. Nice. Oh, wow. Look at this. I should do another unboxing. So look at this, guys. How fun is this? It comes in a little bag, which is super handy because I need a little bag for my portable microphone. Whoa, look at this. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at this, guys. It's like a teardrop. Isn't that great? So I'm going to retire this box. Sorry. I'm going to try to fill this without wearing it. Okay. I thought I could just twist it and take it off, but it was pretty strong. Okay. This is not dangerous at all on a live. And this thing is filled to the brim, guys. Let's see what happens. Sorry for the dead air. What could possibly go wrong? Famous last words. And I'm clumsy tonight. I'm dropping things all over the place. Anything could go wrong. Okay, here we go. By the way, my wife bought me this ink from Jet Pens because it has a cool name. So I'm really trying to concentrate here because this is one of those like tippy sort of ink jars that you just need to be very careful. You know, these cheaper converters, I always feel like you need to sort of go a few times before they fill properly, but that's actually a really good fill, so we can't hold it against it too much. Sorry for the desk noise and maybe a little bit of shake here, guys, but I have to get this. Shop towels. A fountain pen enthusiast's best friend. Even microfilm doesn't, not microfilm, what's that called? Microfiber cloths, the ones you wipe your eyeglasses with. They don't do a great job of cleaning away ink, even though they're very delicate on your pens. So they're good on one hand, but they're sort of useless on another, if you know what I mean. But these shop towels are really robust. Badge of honor. right? We all think it's honorable to have ink on our hands, right? Don't trust a person who doesn't have ink on their hands. So the shop towels are so absorbent. You can use them for so long, and they're also so handy around the house. Now, this is funny. I had no idea we were going to do this tonight. I hope you guys find this interesting. I'm trying to be very careful as I get ink on my fingers, but that's okay. Look at the cap. Very pretty. Very pretty bottle. I'm going to repurpose this. Dominant Industries, guys. This is a Dominant Industries Earl Grey. Okay, it says it on there, so I will remember. Okay, let's see what happens. I keep trying to unscrew it. I feel like there should be a hook safe lock on it. This the reverse on the camera is weird. So let me see. It's really light. The ink. I'm not crazy about the ink, but the pen's nice. No hesitation or anything. Visconti. I'm trying to write so you guys can see. Ethos. This is nice. Oh, it's making a nice scribing noise, isn't it? I don't know if I picked it up, but so I did figure out how to do a 2-camera shoot. I just didn't think I'd need it tonight. So maybe I'll try to set that up so that we can do stuff like this. But quick first impressions. It feels, for an entry-level pen, Visconti or no, it feels pretty substantial. It's slightly more plasticky than I was expecting. I'm a little disappointed with the conversion, but the nib is really nice. The clip is great. I think it's really pretty. Oh, did the ASMR work? I was hoping it would. Dominant Industry. It is Dominant Industry. Did I say dominant? Did I make it plural? I love to make things plural. It is Dominant Industry. I'm not that familiar with them. This is my first ink from Dominant Industry. So, very beautiful pen. I really like this center band. That's what I'm sort of fixated on. So we ended up doing kind of a quick review of this, which I was not expecting. And kind of a review of this ink. So what I would do next is now put a swatch in my ink library and write in there. And then see how it looks. But I think this pen and I are going to have a lot of fun and a lot of adventures together. It's super fun. So Judy Anderson says, fine nib. Yes, you guys. So in the world of nibs, you may know that I do not typically like fine nibs. And I had my choice between fine and medium this time. And I chose fine because I wanted something different. And I don't have too many fine nibs. I have a couple of Twisbys that are fine. I have a Waterman Charleston that's fine. It's just brilliant. Gold nib, fine, smooth, amazing. This feels a bit like that, even though it's not gold. So, James Fahey says, I love brown and gold as a combination, most famously used in the Amber 823. That Amber 823 is just such a great pen. I was using that recently. So, yeah, I can't get enough of that pen. So, it's really good stuff. So, I hope you enjoyed that unexpected fountain pen review. So, I want to read this comment and talk a little bit about journaling. I found this comment interesting because I think that there's sort of a distinction we make, and I don't think we need to run disclaimers anytime we talk about this stuff, right? Am I wrong? But maybe I'm not. So this person, I'm going to let them stay nameless. This is what they wrote in response to one of my videos about journaling being good for you. Okay? So they write, guys, don't listen to him. He knows nothing. Majority of top clinical psychologists advise against journaling, as it often fosters a bunch of negative tendencies in the psyche of an individual. Narcissistic self-obsession and isolated overthinking, just to name a few. Spending even half the time on meditation that one would have on journaling would produce much bigger results. So, it's like, I feel like they're really into meditation and that's kind of their tool. And maybe they're missing the fact that meditation is our tool, that we meditate while we write. I don't feel that journaling is a narcissistic activity. I think it can be argued that being a YouTuber and me being here is a narcissistic activity. But journaling in itself, and I think there's a lot to unpack there. I think you guys know that journaling is a tool that helps you get in touch with yourself, to plan, to analyze situations, to handle conflict better, to just grow as a person and be a better person, and as sort of a private place to challenge yourself. That between those closed pages, you are only that which you express to yourself, and you're the only audience for it, at least initially. So there's no real danger of anyone seeing it. So it's a way of opening yourself up and really taking off the self-censorship, right? So if somebody has extreme narcissism or some other tendency, I would think that they might need actual medical help. Now, I don't think every time I talk about journaling and how it's good for you and good for your mental health, I need to put a disclaimer that if you have a serious psychological issue or if you're really suffering right now, go get help. I would hope that's understood, and it might make the program really redundant if I have to say that every time. I certainly know if you guys had any kind of something going on in your lives, and actually I know some of you have things going on in your lives because we've talked. I've read your letters. I know your struggles, and I've told you mine. You've seen mine. I'm okay now, and part of the reason I'm okay is that I can keep myself on a path with journaling. So I was really snarky in my reply. I probably shouldn't share this, but I replied because the way that YouTube works on the sort of back end is that I always see that comment because I respond to almost every comment. And if I don't, it's always going to be there. So I responded that I see that you are well on your way toward emptying your mind. So I thought that was nice. But I think that there's a line there, right? I mean, I think most fair-minded people realize that if you're really struggling, journaling is you see someone professionally that journaling is a fantastic tool. I don't think that journaling makes you crazy. I don't think that journaling makes you more narcissistic, more self-indulgent, or anything else. I think if you had those tendencies, you would be that way anyway. And it wouldn't be journaling that brings it out in you. It would be life and circumstance and everything else. Art Mingle says that was kind. Thank you, but it could also be taken two ways. So, but thank you. I appreciate that. Oh boy. So Wolverine, my friend, since you're sharing this publicly, I'm going to put this up. And always a pleasure to see my buddy Wolverine here. So Wolverine says, as I dealt with brain cancer, journaling was recommended by psychiatrists and psychologists as a means of dealing with my health issues. Yes. It's a way for you to take control. So I don't know. I mean, I think one time I'll read mean comments. I don't even know if that was a mean comment. I don't know the motivation behind it. I don't pretend to try to. I've taken offense early in my channel. When I first put my channel up, I was super defensive. And a couple times I even snapped at like friends. I was like, what do you mean that? And I felt like really stupid because I was taking it the wrong way. And I decided that it's better to be noble, to either be funny in a reply or to be overly kind, because it doesn't benefit me any to be bouncing the same type of energy back at someone if someone's being really negative toward the channel. There's one commenter who will remain nameless who comments quite a bit that's pretty negative and very critical of almost everything I say. And someone came on this in the comments and attacked me personally. And they were the first one that jumped in and stood up for me. So from that moment on, I was like, all right, well, you're definitely on Team Hemingway. So I'm not going to get even annoyed at you anymore. So it was really, really fun. Let me see what Jacob Dodd says. Hi, Jacob. Oh, Jacob, I'm so glad you're here. Psychologist here. Journaling is a medium to reconcile thoughts and emotions. It's a wonderful tool for collecting one's own thoughts on any matter. Yeah, I agree 100%. So thank you for being here. I mean, it's great to have someone in your profession that can attest directly. So thanks for that. So really good stuff. I don't know, guys. I think we all have some degree of self-absorption. I don't think a human being walks through reality without measuring it from their own experiences. But I don't think that you would become a raving narcissist by journaling. I think, if anything, it would help keep you in check. Although I have a joke for you all. This is one of my jokes. When I spin around, I don't get dizzy because the whole world revolves around me. So there you go. That's my Chuck Norris joke. So very good stuff, guys. So some fun stuff coming up on the channel. Saturday at 2 p.m., I'm going to interview another YouTuber by the name of Musing Aida, who has a channel talking about travel and food and discovery. She goes around Europe. She talks about passports. She's based out of Paris, so there's a lot of Paris content. She did a recent video on Proust that was really interesting. So I'm going to interview her at 2 o'clock on Saturday Eastern time. And it's another way for me to give something to all the European folks that watch, because I know right now it's like 1 o'clock in the morning for you, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's an opportunity to get something live. I'm trying to do more on European time. And this weekend coming up, I'm going to be home, so I have the opportunity. Ada is nice enough to join us. I'm really excited to present her story to you all, because I feel like it's nice to have pen people on, but it's also nice to get some other storytellers and how they're motivated and how they see the world. And I think it would be a really nice and interesting interview. So if you're around, I'd appreciate if you stop by 2:00 on Saturday for that. Also, in other news, we are going to be welcoming Brendan from Atlas Stationers back, and that will be in late February. So it will be a lot of fun there. So Brendan is one of the owners of Atlas Stationers, and I think it would be really fun to have him on the channel more as a conversation. So I don't know if he'll do as much show and tell. We'll see what he does. He always brings his A game. He's a very entertaining, energetic guy. So it's super fun. So that should be fun. I'm looking at some of your comments. So good stuff. All right. What's a general comment? Judy, I'm not sure what that's about, but happy to clarify if I knew. So yes, guys, everyone, check in on Wolverine. He's a huge friend of the channel. Wolverine's been with me since like day one. He's just a lovely, lovely guy. Always here on the lives. We talk in email. Just a really great guy. So see, you guys are talking about the London Pen Show. There's a small chance I might be in London for that. That would be super fun. So we will see. James Fahey, have I thought about doing a Teams or Zoom for members? No, but that's a brilliant idea. That's a really good idea. Let's, I don't know how to do that logistically, but let's think about that. We can, I'd be up for that. Sometimes I need a little help, like the one thing is like, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of video content to be edited. There's some fun videos coming out this week. What is coming out this week? Let me just double check, because I'm editing one now I think you guys will really like. It's my actually not top 5. It is my 5 pens. So if I had to take my entire collection and whittle it down to only 5 pens, which ones would they be? I thought long and hard. We talked about it on our on one of our lives recently. So I was like, I got to figure this out. So I put that together. I'm editing that now. So it's a lot of fun. So the next one this Friday is top 5 weird fountain pen features. It's a super fun video. I think you guys will like it. Just getting into those pens that have really weird features. Shaq MD, a channel I follow. Shaq MD has absolutely beautiful handwriting. Always lovely to see you, my friend. What's my next major pen to have? I'm trying not to have pens, but I'm compromised. I'm a YouTuber. I show you guys pens. We talk about pen experience. I'm sure I'm going to be getting lots of pens. I just got this Mythos. So this Visconti Mythos and I are going to spend some quality time together. And I'm really just trying to absorb pens as they come in. I'm still over the moon with the Visconti Bronze Age. As crazy as it is, it's a mad pen. It's way over the top. It's very strange. And I love it. I love it for that. Shaq MD, I love your Mont Blanc curve nib. I would love to have that, but I would be terrible with it. I can't change the angle of my approach. It's fairly uniform. I would only get the big broad line, and I wouldn't do well with that. But I'd still like to own it. I'm just so curious about it. So that would be really cool. So Wolverine likes your channel too. So everyone, follow Shaq MD. He has a YouTube channel, And it's mostly him writing with some really nice music. And he has lovely handwriting, and he has an absolutely brilliant pen collection. So if everyone could do me a favor after the show today, follow Shaq MD, because he's got a great channel. John Manuel, what pens not to buy? There's not too many that I would outright say don't buy. I don't like the Pilot Falcon. I don't like the new Parker 51. Conceptually, I'm not sure about the Lamy 2000, but I don't own one. So I don't feel like I can really speak yet. But yeah, that'd be about it. There's not too many where I say don't buy. But so Shaq MD, it is unique. I'm used to bamboo nibs, so easy for me. Well, it's amazing your handwriting. I really admire it. My handwriting, as you know, is serviceable. So Lincoln's asking if I'm going to the Ohio Pen Show this year. Lincoln, I don't think so. Ohio is a bit out of the way for me. I would go to pen shows if there's stuff I can do, or it's like I would like to go to one in New York City because I'm overdue for a trip there. I would go to one in Miami because my wife and I haven't been to Miami in a while. Philadelphia, I almost went to, but my daughter got sick. Philadelphia is my hometown. So we were this close to going, but it just didn't work out. So one year we will go. So I'd love to do London. Ellie J says, I was hesitant about the Lamy 2000. Now it's one of my favorites. I think it go either way with that pen. Don't you think? That's what I hear. So it's either you love it and it works out for you, or it doesn't work and it's polarizing. Simon Krupa's mentioning the Colorado Pen Show. That would be fun. I'd love to show my wife around Colorado. I spent a lot of time there in the 1990s climbing in El Dorado and in Boulder Canyon and out at Garden of the Gods. I have a pretty neat photo of me climbing at Garden of the Gods with Pikes Peak in the background. So pretty neat. Art Mingle says, I'm in Miami. Please come to Miami or even the Orlando. I may. That is one spot I could definitely see ourselves. We love Miami. I spent quite a bit of time there since the mid-90s all the way through. My wife and I went there before our daughter was born, and we're really excited to go back. So that is a trip we are overdue. Jim Kerrigan says, HJ, I'm surprised you could read my handwriting. You have really nice handwriting, my friend. It was not an issue at all. It's very, very nice. So, Blush and Blue is going to the Orlando Pen Show. Well, when is it? I mean, maybe I can. It really depends on when these are. I was thinking about, if I were more ambitious, I would go to all of them because I'd love to meet a bunch of you guys and see who's there and check out the pens. You know who seems to be at every pen show is Brian Holzer from Esterbrook. He is the most traveled guy I know. So I'm always really impressed with him. I mean, he's in like Constantinople and everywhere. So Simon says, you'll have a place to stay if you visit Colorado. Thank you. It's very kind of you. But do you really want my wife, my 5-year-old, and me at your place? That's a whole lot of circus, my friend. But I do appreciate it. So, okay. So the Ohio Pen Show's in November. That's good to know. You can take your daughter to Disney. September 8th to 10th is the Orlando Pen Show. So it's right before Philly. Or excuse me, it's right before Boston's. Like, I would never miss Boston's. Boston's this year is the 16th. And I'll definitely be there at the Commonwealth. So if anybody can make it to Boston, I will absolutely be there. Taking my daughter to Disney is not exciting for me. Disney is not my thing, guys. I have trouble with things like waiting in lines and crowds. And I am not a big fan of Disney in particular. And not that it's just that, like, I don't know. I don't think I've barely seen a Disney cartoon except for ones I've watched with my daughter. Now, I know you do it for your daughter, but my mother-in-law lives really close, so I was hoping she would take her because I don't know if I could do it. I don't like heat too much either. Kate goes to the Commonwealth. I met Kate at the Commonwealth Pen Show. So if anybody can make it to Boston, it's a great time of year to visit Boston. Boston is really pretty in September. Definitely. Jacob Dodds. Hemingway. I am watching you from the comfort of my study, writing with my Mont Blanc 146. How can I send it to you? Do I have a P.O. box? I do not have a P.O. box, I'm afraid. And right now, the only way to send it to me is to become an Illuminati or Cognoscenti member of the channel. We're doing a letter exchange right now, and that's the only way I've given out an address so far. But maybe some point in the future, I will get a P.O. box. So John Manuel's like me and does not like crowds like Disney. So anybody watching The Last of Us? It's kind of interesting. It's sort of a better produced, better acted Walking Dead. And I hate to make that comparison, but it's very comparable. And I hope they can avoid some of the pitfalls of those kind of shows where you either get a villain of the year or villain of the week. And after a while, the infected zombies seem slightly less menacing, that sort of thing. But so far, it's been a really good show. So lots of people are voting for P.O. Box. We will do that one day, but right now, Cognoscenti and Illuminati members. Letter exchange, super fun. Kate's a big fan of The Last of Us. Hobby artist, Hemingway Jones. I might come to the Commonwealth Pen Shows if things work out. When do you all start seeing fall colors in Massachusetts? Sadly, not for another month after that. So usually October to mid-October is when it starts. And it usually wraps up third week, right, you guys? Yeah, like third week. It's a reason why everyone goes up to North Conway during Columbus Day weekend, because that seems to be around when the peak is. Jim Kerrigan's like me in many ways, and he also hates crowds. Yeah, I'm not a crowd. Like, I mean, I guess I'll do it. I'd do anything for my kid, but it would be tough. It would be really tough. And if I had my choice between spending, $8,000 to go to Disney or to take my daughter to Tokyo, we're going to Tokyo. I think she would learn a lot more. So Barry Day with the tough question. You said you won't purchase a pen over 150 with the steel nib, but you love Esterbrook and their slim SD is 200 and the oversize is 250. What do I think about that? Don't you think Esterbrook is overpriced? I rationalize it, Barry. That's how I think about it. And I think that's sort of the whole thing with valuation. You look at it and it's like they make a beautiful pen and it writes amazingly well. And they use really good materials and they're extremely reliable. Are they overpriced? I mean, every pen is overpriced by some measure. But they're a business and they make a great product and they're very in touch with their customers. They are producing pens for people who are passionate about writing. I don't regret any of the Esterbrook's I own. I love those pens so much. I feel like it's the price of entry for Esterbrook. And I do feel like it's a good, solid product. But do I wish they were cheaper? I do. I mean, I would I'd like to own all of them. So, of course I do. And I would also like them to be more accessible for everyone. But they are brilliant and they're really reliable, and they have real nice converters even inside compared to like the cheap one that's in here. I was a little disappointed about. So there's different things, but yeah, I get your point, and that's why I put it up. I think many pens are charge more than they do, these companies. So Liam used to live in Lowell and went to New Hampshire often in the fall. Hey, Liam. Yeah, Lowell is where Jack Kerouac is from. And it's kind of not too far from here. So, very cool. Allie J. I'm going to put this up so you can see it. Blue. Fall on East Coast is totally amazing. It truly is. It's a beautiful time of year. So, David Pruitt, lots of love for Esterbrook. I love Esterbrook. I do. They're a great company. They produce very smooth, incredible pens. And a lot of really nice custom grinds that a lot of companies aren't willing to do. So I appreciate that. Judy Anderson says, I think we need a show devoted to questions only. I see many people asking questions 3 or 4 times and they don't get answered. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I've been trying to make more of an effort to answer your questions and be as interactive as I possibly can. There's a couple of dynamics going on. Your comments are on the lower right of my screen in this software, and they go by pretty quickly. So I have to speak and read at the same time. And you guys know I don't have the best eyesight. I do put my reading glasses on. Right before I started to get taking your comments now, I put my reading glasses on so that I could handle it a little better. But you sort of have to split your mind in half, where one part of me is reading a question and like, oh, that's a good question, I'll put it up and answer it. And another part of my mind is either answering a question or talking about a pen or something. So I'm hoping at some point I could get help. Wouldn't it be great if there was like some kind of producer or something that could hand me the questions that are good, that need answering or something? I know a lot of channels do the thing where they only answer questions when people give them money. And I think that's kind of crass, but it makes the question rise to the top. I prioritize really good questions when I see them, and I feel bad missing them. And I feel bad anytime someone's not acknowledged, which is why I spend so much time in the comments, you guys. But I would love to just have a Q&A episode. I mean, maybe we could do that next week where there's no real agenda and we'll just talk Q&A. If you guys would like to do that. I think John Manuel's nominating himself as moderator. So thanks, Shaq, by the way, MD, saying I'm doing great. I appreciate that, especially from another YouTuber. Thank you. But maybe we'll do a Q&A only next time. And I don't shy away from tough questions. So feel free to hammer away. Blush and Blue is curious about Esterbrook. Well, Blush and Blue, I have many videos on Esterbrook, some of which are filmed in really exciting places. I did one in Newport on the SD Flex. I did one in... Where did I do the other? Oh, down at the beach on the Jersey Shore. Super fun video. So please check the back catalog. My back catalog needs love, guys. As does my Walden Pond video, which I really thought would do better. I was a little disappointed that not many people watch my Walden Pond video. I thought it was quite good. Jess says a video where people submit questions before you film it. I've done that. I could do that again. And I can do both. So what I could do is either do it over on Instagram or or all around my socials and then film it. I think that would be super fun. I would probably pick the hardest questions. That's how I roll. And when Ada's on Saturday, I'll be taking questions too. So Saturday at 2, lots of questions. We're going to have a conversation, and then we'll take some questions. So good stuff. Judy says, some people become upset when you miss them. I get upset when I miss you guys. I really regret missing good questions, but just try to understand, if you can, that it's hard doing this. I have to try to make it entertaining for people watching it, especially after the fact, because these stay up and more people watch them on the replay than watch them live. And I'm very self-aware. I'm very, I'm stretching for words a little bit, but I just want this to be entertaining. So I know I have to keep the content flowing and keep what I'm doing interesting and visually interesting. And at the same time, try to get your comments in. It's a lot to handle. And I'm only going to get better over time. So Kaylee liked the Walden video. I appreciate that. My Walden video needs love. There's another YouTuber who I really like named Oshin O'Malley, who does watch content. And he says, if you want to see my best videos, look for the ones with the fewest views. And it's so true. Like, I think my how to write a love letter video, I love that one. And almost no one watched it. And my Walden Pond one, same thing. But it doesn't mean they're not good. And it doesn't mean you guys don't appreciate it. You guys are the core. I do this for you. So Simon says, side effect of the channel getting bigger. Is it getting bigger? It's not really getting that bigger, but I appreciate it. The live show's getting big. There's a lot of you. And I'm really getting to know each of you. So Benjo Markland says, I really did enjoy the interviews. Thinking Goulet pens. Benjo, I'll be honest. If you can get Brian Goulet to come on here, that would be fantastic. But I doubt he has any idea I even exist. And he has his own show that he tapes to look live with Drew. And I don't think he has time, but it would be brilliant. I'd love to have him on here. I have a lot of questions for him, and a lot of them would be business related because I'm a commercial lender by day. So Allie J, the paper folder. Allie J folds letters like no one else you've ever seen in your life. I hope you all one day get a letter from Allie J. It's awesome. You'll treasure it. She says, trying to speak coherently and answer a scroll of questions feels like standing in front of a tennis ball, throwing machine without a racket. It is a bit like that. And I have a little bit of a speech impediment anyway, so I'm doing the best I can. But hopefully it's interesting viewing for you all. Because I love how the live show's doing. The live show thrives. So we're definitely going to do a lot of live show. Jess says that would be an amazing crossover. I would like to have a lot of pen people on. I don't think a lot of them know I'm here because we're not that big yet. I know that Adventure Denali does. It was nice to have her on. She was really interesting and just so much energy. It'd be great if she came on the live show, but I'd never pressure her. Neil Bell's super impressed with the Esterbrook Journaler grind. That's awesome. That's a great one. So I'd like to get Wasky Squirrel on here too. He's a friend of the channel and I subscribe to his. I've been pressuring him a little, in a friendly way. He's a lovely guy. I'd love to just hear about his inspirations and what kind of motivates him to do YouTube. It would be super fun. Do you guys know him? Really nice guy. He has a really gentle approach. Just a lot of warmth. So definitely a good guy. Gerald says, I thought your video on how to write a love letter was excellent, in my opinion. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I really like that one. But this week, there's a new video. They're always coming out. And there's always the back catalog. So if you guys get interested, you can go deep. You can see my progression. I go back sometimes and look at some of my early ones, and they were not very good technically. My audio's really wonky. Kind of like tonight when I had the mic muted for a bit. That was kind of wonky. Kaylee, Wasky is one of the few I subscribe to. He's a lovely guy. So everyone, go pressure him. Go to Wasky's latest video. This is so mean. And comment. You should go on Hemingway Jones's live show. Just leave him that comment and see what happens. So guys, letter exchange for Cognoscenti and Illuminati members. Get in on it. It's super fun. I just got a new letter today. I can't show you it because it has a private address, but I can show you the back. Does anybody recognize this one? So this came from Florida with an Orlando postal stamp. Nice handwriting too. Very expressive. It looks like, I'm trying to nail this ink. I'm terrible with inks. It looks like it could be ancient copper. It could be some kind of sepia. But I like it. Whatever it is, I like it. So I'm excited to read that. So, Allie J, I sent that love letter video to a friend and she loved it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And guys, anything you can do to spread the word about the channel would be great. If you could send some of my videos to people you think might enjoy it, that would really help. It's asking a lot, but if they would really enjoy it, it would help. So I appreciate that. Ben Joe got one from Colorado. That's super fun. Letter exchange is really fun. Ben Joe, you're all over the comments, man. How about a video on how to write a poem? I could do that. I do write poems, as you've probably seen, because back in the members section, I've read my poems. That might be a punishment. I'm not sure. So, Blush and Blue says, I refuse to show my horrible handwriting. Come on, Blush and Blue. You got all those great pens. Why don't you do this? Do this. Hold on. Hold on. See how much of a mess I'm making. Do this. And then sign it with a nice pen. This, by the way, guys, is a Royal P. And the P stands for portable. And these are glass-coated keys. This one, I think, has Elite, but I'm not sure. I forget, because my red one has the opposite. And I always use my tan one. I have 3 of these. My tan one has Vogue typeface, Royal Moderne, which I'm going to type up a letter, and I'm going to show it to you guys on one of these lives. It's one of the coolest typefaces you've ever seen in your life. And this is a gorgeous machine. It's a little dusty. Need to dust it. I dust. Usually when I'm on the phone, I dust, but I'm behind. So, by the way, I got this for $25 on Facebook Marketplace. And you know how I have restored it? I cleaned it, and it was fine. So this was made in the late 20s, early 1930s. Absolutely gorgeous. So do that, Blush and Blue. Come on. Sorry about standing up, but I thought you guys would appreciate that. Let me see. I had to clean this one off too. Here it is in red. This is an original color, by the way. So this is original to the 1920s, 1930s. Isn't it gorgeous? It's one of my favorite machines. Portable. I'm definitely a Royal guy. I love Royal typewriters. They're my favorites. You guys dig the typewriter? Should I do more typewriter content? I haven't in a long time. I have a Royal Quiet Deluxe there, a Remington, and I have 14 machines here, 2 in the basement. One of the ones in the basement is my office machine. It's so great. It's a KHM Royal. Looks like the Royal P, but it's tall. So good. So fast. Such a great machine. So, Lyman Krupa, so vibrant given its age. Yeah, you know, some people really took care of their nicer typewriters, so they came down through the ages in really good shape. Occasionally I go to use one and it needs a new ribbon, but that's the worst normally that they need. So I'd love to show you the tan one with Vogue, but it's all the way at the end of the library, all the way down there. So I'm getting the feeling you guys would like to do a Q&A. Maybe we'll do that next week. That would be super fun for me, actually. And I hope you guys bring your A game, because I really want to be challenged. Like, hit me with hard questions, because I think they're more interesting. Also, I'm open for ideas, because one of the things I really want to do is bring more people into the hobby. Like, how can my channel make it more interesting and accessible for people who want to get into fountain pens? You guys let me know what you think about that, because that's something I'd really like the channel to move toward. Ali J. My husband loves typewriter content, so he'd like more. Or loves typewriters, so he'd love more typewriter content. I used to do it when I first started the channel, and I haven't done it since. But what I'd like to do is maybe show a video on how to combine typewriters and fountain pens. I haven't typed any of my letters to you guys. I was tempted a couple times. When they all came in at first, when the big flood came in, and I had all these letters I needed to answer, my hand literally started cramping up, because I wanted to get them to you guys fast, and I wanted you guys to like really be excited about it as I was. And I was like, oh, what if I type some? And then I was like, oh, it just feels like it's got to be handwritten. But I was close. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll type a page, handwrite a page. Because you guys saw in the letter you get from me, it's a lot of letter. It's not like 5 lines. I mean, I put a lot of thought into it. So yeah, every member can get access to, every Cognoscenti and Illuminati member has access to the spreadsheet. So if you don't know where that is, let me know. So, Gerald Haswell, stretch out a bit and try your hand at some real calligraphy. We'd all love that too. I have been practicing, my friend, to, let's say, maybe not the best results, but I'm working on it. I'll show you. Here's one of my pages that I'm working on. So, yeah, I'm working on it. What can I say? It's a work in progress. I got this paper too. It's French paper. The only problem is I tend to write my actual name over and over again. So I'm not as comfortable sharing that, unfortunately. But so, I'm looking for ideas on how to make the channel more accessible and to get people more excited about entering this hobby. I'd really like to pass this passion I have for fountain pens onto more people. So that would be super fun. And we'll do a Q&A video next week. Excuse me. Chiro, one of my favorite people. Fountain pens and manual typewriters, very similar archaic technologies. Indeed. I don't know why I reject typewriters. To use laptops for writing, but I like to draw with fountain pens, not laptops. You know, it's whatever you feel comfortable with, right? If you found your passion in typewriters, you would. I personally love writing poems on typewriters. There's something about typing. And I think it's because when you type, you tend to really deliberate each word before you print it, before you tap it into the paper. So maybe that's just me, but you're definitely intrigued by different things. Mara Christian, hello. Nice to see you. I live in a rural community with a bunch of farm kids that shovel goat, chicken, and cow poop. I want to start a club at the high school, maybe through 4-H or FFA. That's a great idea. I mean, that's really giving back and kind of showing people this new hobby that they could really take off with. That's really lovely. I think that's great. Simon Krupa, I don't need another hobby, but I feel like writing with a typewriter may be it. It may be. It's really fun. It's noisy, though, so we'll keep that in mind. Like, it's hard to type now with my daughter asleep, but super fun. Highly recommend it. I really do enjoy it. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I've tried to keep it to an hour, and once again, I've failed miserably. But we have succeeded a lot in a lot of things. I feel like this was a really good episode. We covered a lot of ground, and I hear your concerns about the comments. I don't know how to fix it. I'll try to really keep my eyes on the comments and make sure each of you get addressed. You guys mean the world to me. So don't ever think that I'm specifically skipping over any of you. I would never do that. I love you all. I love seeing you here every week. And your comments keep me going. You inspire me. A lot of your comments are what I make my next video out of. So it's very valuable. But just keep in mind that I'm juggling a lot when I do this. And I love doing this, though. And I will continue. The live show, I think, is one of the strongest parts of this whole channel. And the community. Isn't the communities better than the content, I think? I think you guys combined are better than anything I put out there. So thank you for that. Hey, Mummy Brown, how are you? Apples and oranges to me. I'm an illustrator in the art world. Digital illustration kind of gets looked down on as not being art. Yeah, I agree. So 2 p.m. on Saturday, interview with Musing Aida. Maybe go watch her videos in preparation. Subscribe to her channel. Subscribe to Wasky Squirrel and leave a comment on his video telling him to come on the live show. Give him a hard time. He's a good guy. So really good stuff. Thank you all. See you guys really soon. New video on Friday. So everyone, take care, and we'll meet again soon. Bye-bye.